Right now when you were talking, I had this image of the squirrel from the Ice Age movie, of chasing the nut and grabbing the nut and sometimes having it and being so happy, and then the nut goes away. They lose it. And when you were talking about focusing and alignment, I feel alignment when I'm teaching. It's so easy. It's so fluid. They trust me, I trust them. I feel it when I'm dancing. I feel it when I'm singing and playing the guitar. I'm trying to figure out, how do I move that into a relationship?
By focusing on the moments in time when you know it and practicing the vibration of that. And you see, you already did quite a bit of that. But it's that other stuff that you're practicing that's holding you apart from that. If you just practice those things and not practice the other things, it's that thing you do. It's that practicing that other momentum. Esther has been saying, because there are some thoughts that when she stumbles upon them, she really doesn't like them. Really, really, really doesn't like them. So less and less she's stumbling on them because she's watching her step more. But every now and again, she'll stumble on one, and there's already enough momentum going that off she'll go, and she'll say, right out loud, well, that was unpleasant. That was unpleasant. That was unpleasant. And then she'll say, and unnecessary.
Oh.
That was unpleasant and unnecessary. So the more often you catch yourself doing that thing you do, where you're practicing the contrary vibration, the vibration that's keeping you from feeling the way you feel when you're dancing or when you're playing or when you're teaching.
How do I?
That was really good. That was really good. That's the answer to all things. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely.
And I'm going to hear it in the recording, I know it, because right now I'm so nervous in what you're saying. But that's okay. Removing the fear from, especially in an intimate...
When you teach,
yeah.
How do you set your students at ease? How do you...
Well, you know what? Oddly enough...
Sit down, be good, shut up, none of that.
But there is...
How do you set your students at ease? Or do they say to you, I want to hear you, but I'm so afraid. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous that I can't hear what you're saying. Infinite intelligence.
Oddly enough, I have a very structured boundary. And yet, at the same time, they know I care. There's a boundary, but I care for them and their well-being.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. We're
I trust them.
We're just trying to playfully play you into.
Yeah.
What could you possibly be nervous about?
In a relationship?
No, now.
Oh.
Did you forget where you are?
Not listening and learning what I'm supposed to.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're interacting with someone you're teaching, and you can tell that they're not listening, and so your words are sort of not being, or are there enough of them that the others are getting it, so this one doesn't matter so much?
No, it's more like osmosis. You know what? They're going to be picked up with the energy.
So how can you set yourself in a place of allowing the universe to give to you what you want? Because this is the picture that we want you to understand. This is a universe that's based on attraction. So here you are, a point of attraction. And what you're wanting to attract now is knowledge and knowing. And so here we are in the perfect forum for that to happen. So what kinds of things have you been practicing that make you push it away, that make you not be the comfortable receiver of it? If law of attraction is always working, and it is, and you are the point of attraction, then can you see that it's just practicing good feeling thoughts about anything that you can find that makes you a practiced receiver of what you want? So, but then you take those important things, that thing you really want, and you make it so important that then you are afraid, or then you are fearful. The last thing in the world we ever want to hear from anyone when we are interacting with them is that I am so nervous I cannot hear you. Because that means there's some practiced thought of inferiority, or some practiced thought of unworthiness, or some practiced thought of caring what other people think.
Yes.
Some practiced
Yes.
thought.
Yes.
Some practiced thought that is dominant in the moment. So it's keeping this moment. We've been offering an analogy for a long time about the merry-go-round in the playground, that you want to get on it. It was during our focus wheel discussions. You want to get on this merry-go-round, but the kids already have it going too fast, so you can't get on it. And when you try, you just get bumped off into the bushes. And Esther had the sensation the other day that her merry-go-round was spinning, and it was spinning so well that it was sweeping up everything that was a cooperative component to it and everything that was a vibrational match to it, and that anything unwanted would go off in the bushes because the momentum of who you are is such, you see. So we have to say to you, you have enough momentum going that we selected you, and with some great trouble, we want you to remember. In other words, you were reluctant. We were pointing at you. We were picking you. We beat the poor girl on the back row up. And yet, you weren't willing to come forward because you haven't practiced the vibration of just expecting things to work out for you. Yet. It's all right. You're just a really good representative of nearly every other person in the room. Everyone's doing it to some extent, you see. So it's doing that thing you do. It's doing that thing you do. If you'll stop doing that thing you do, then your point of attraction will be nice and clear. Because contrast has helped you to create the vortex, and it's spinning. And law of attraction is bringing all the cooperative components. So what do you need to do? What is it that you need to do? Chill, have fun, be easy, like yourself, practice positive thoughts about yourself and others. Look for reasons to feel good. Don't make a big hairy deal out of anything. Come to trust that things are working out for you. That you have the ability to be in the right place at the right time. And most of all, that it's coming, and you just don't need to split hairs about when or where or who or what. It's coming. So just be on the treasure hunt of watching for it. And so you have two things to do. Practice feeling good and then watch for the evidence. That's it. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely.
So more so than it's coming, like right now, it's here. I got to start thinking, it's here? Because it's coming keeps me from, there's almost a lack in it.
We want you to start feeling like it is here by, as you very intuitively did in the beginning, pointing out the times in your life when you do feel that way. When I teach, I feel that way, you said, and you do, and you did when you were telling us that. When I play my guitar and sing, I feel that way, and you do, and you did while you were talking about it. So as you acknowledge those things those experiences where you do feel that way, and just replay those over and over in your mind, rather than picking the times when you don't. Just catch yourself. Pay attention to what you're saying and how what you're saying is causing you to feel over the next while. And just ask yourself, what momentum am I working on now? Am I working on a resistant momentum, or am I working on an allowing momentum? Am I doing that thing I do that makes what I want not able for me to realize it now? Realize it for me to realize it? Am I in the frequency where I can realize it? We told the story last week. Esther could not find something. She could not find it. Turned out it was right there in front of her. She had emptied her bag on a rug very much like this one, everything, and then she was going through her checklist and putting it back in the bag to make sure that everything that was on her checklist was there. And then she looked for something and it wasn't there. She looked for it and it wasn't there. She looked everywhere around. She couldn't find it anywhere. She could not find it, and it was right there, and it was orange. Orange. It was orange, and it was right there. But for just a moment, because it's so important and she doesn't want to lose it. It's a really valuable thing. It's an external hard drive. It has stuff on it that she wants and needs. She didn't want to lose it. It really mattered. It really, 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 really mattered. And how she got crossways of it when it was right there. Oh, how do you get crossways of what's right there? How do you not realize what's right there? How is it that that happens? How can you be blind to something right in front of you and not see it? How can that happen? You're on a different vibrational frequency. So that external hard drive terrorizes Esther just a little bit. It terrorizes her a little bit. It's so valuable, and it's so important, and it's so little, and it's so easy to lose track of, and it so looks like 25 other ones that she's also got. In other words, except it's a terabyte. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of data. She doesn't want to lose that. She doesn't want to lose that. She doesn't want to lose. This is important to me, she says. Oh, I'm going to keep track of this. This is valuable to me. I must not lose this. I must not lose this. I must not lose this. I will never lose this. I will not lose this. I will not lose this. This matters too much. I will not lose this. This is so important to me. This is the most important thing that I have in my possession right now. This is data. This is important data. This has data that really matters to me. I will not lose this. I will not lose this. And I will keep it safe unto myself. It's not out there where someone else can get it. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. And I will not lose it. 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 I can't find it. And we want you to understand that I can't find it is a perfect vibrational match to I won't lose it. They're the same vibrational frequencies. It's exactly the same vibrational frequency.
The accepting of something because I'm afraid of losing it. Like a relationship. I'm afraid of
we have enjoyed this interaction immensely. Yeah. There are a lot of things that you don't let in because you don't think they'll stay or because you care about what somebody else might think about them. But you are the center of your universe. You are the creator of your experience. You get to decide what you want. Jerry said to Esther the other morning, because she writes with him nearly every day, and he said, your opinion, your perspective of something, it was a business conversation, matters more than everybody else's opinion put together because you've been there longer, you know what you're wanting, you understand the full picture, you understand all of the things that we've been putting into the vortex. So your perspective matters really, 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 really a lot. Can't even put numbers to the proportion of how important your perspective about what you want is. And then when you say to someone else, what do you think? And what they think is different than what you think, all you do is introduce clutter to your already decided conclusion. So you clutter it up and you clutter it up and you clutter it up and you clutter it up, and then you don't know it. Then you don't know it. Then you don't own it. Then you're not offering a vibration of it. Then law of attraction can't give it to you in a way that you realize it, not because law of attraction isn't good, it is. And not because you're not worthy, you are, but because you've got a frequency going on that makes you not in the mode in that moment of realizing it. You are not different than any of your other electronic devices in this sense. Those vibrational devices that are transmitting and receiving mechanisms have to be on the same frequency. And if they're not on the same frequency, you get static, you get a blurred picture, you can't hear it at all. If you know enough about tuners to know that you got to tune. Some of your tuners now are happening so automatically you don't even realize the amount of alignment that's taking place in this technological world on your behalf. But you can't leave that technological alignment to something other than your own awareness. Your tuner is your emotion. Your tuner is your solar plexus. Your tuner is letting you know whether you're on or off in this practiced moment. And we're not really concerned about you having a moment where you're so off that something happens, like an asteroid hits you or something. We're not talking about this moment where the boom will fall. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this moment where you have the opportunity of practicing a vibration that's going to long-term, medium-term, and short-term serve you so much better. In the short term, it serves you better because you just feel better. It's really funny. So many of our physical friends will say, all right, I'll try this. I'll try to feel good if it'll get me what I want. I'll give up my objectiveness, my objectivity. I'll give up my friendship with that ornery toad. I'll give up my long-held opinion if it'll get me what I want. And we say, what about just feeling good now? Because everything you want comes back around to that. That's why you want it anyway. So why not just go directly there? You have the power. But you have to practice it a little bit.